Okay, this is take two. Trying to figure out how to live stream on my GoPro 10 while I'm walking around. It's Sunday morning. Beautiful morning. So I thought I would try this. I seem to have to be hooked up to the Wi-Fi on the house. So I have to figure out if I can live stream this away from home. I thought I'd walk around a little bit, test it out. Okay, there's Merton and Sue again. Good morning, guys. Oh, Lucas ball here. First thing we do in the morning is we have to play ball. So hopefully I don't lose you here. Let me walk back this way. I'm trying to stay within range of the Wi-Fi. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to throw it. So the GoPro is stabilized, and there it goes. So I threw it out there to him. I'm waiting for him to come back. So this is our normal routine in the morning. Here he comes. Pop it. And then he goes. All right, Naj is here. Good morning, good morning. Naj, I'm testing my Hero 10 out to see if I can live stream with it. And it works pretty good. There's Lorna. Good morning, Lorna. Thanks, guys, for coming in and helping me out. I appreciate it. There it comes. And oh, there. And so it is. And I showed this to Merton and Sue. Uh-oh. He's got a choya. Let's see. Got it. You got a choya cactus in the foot and mouth. Okay, you got it. Ready? There he goes. And wait a second, he's got a bush out there. He waits behind his bush and waits for me to throw it. There, I threw it. And here he comes. So this is our routine first thing in the morning before we feed him. He wants to play. Here we go. And old Dad gets some exercise, and so does Lucas. So with most dogs, as you know, especially active dogs, they've got to have a job, otherwise they find trouble. So let's see here. So our cactus garden. Talca detectors here. Good morning, good morning. From Chile. Talca detector is the Arizona desert. So I'm here playing with Lucas, testing out my GoPro. Neighbors going to work. Work hard. See you later. Make lots of money. Pay your taxes. I used to have to do that. Another throw, so that's probably the 5th throw I've done for Lucas now. We're here in the desert and it's starting to get hot. We hit 100 yesterday here. And so we try to do everything in the morning. There we go. Are you gonna tease me? Oh, okay. This right here in front of me is a saguaro cactus. For anybody that doesn't know, that's unique to this area in the Sonoran Desert. This one we rescued off another property, and we planted it here, transplanted it here about, 20 years ago maybe, and it's doing really well. Okay, what do you think? See all the stickers, and there's seed stickers from the seeds here. They've all died, but he still likes to play with it. So I'm throwing it out there probably 25 yards. Okay, so I'm just going to walk around the front. Excuse me. This is hedgehog cactus right here. They bloomed a little while ago. These are saguaro, not saguaro cactus, but oh, I'm having a brain fade here. Here's a baby saguaro right there. See how tiny that is? And how big this one is. And then we have some cactus, call them kind of monster cactus. They look kind of weird. This is a neighbor that was moving, gave this to us years ago. We've been using these totes recently for the last few years. Since it's so dry, the ground is so dry here, the totes with good soil are really good for growing, nice mums and things like that. Now we have a bunch of eggs in here, and they have been abandoned. Those are quail eggs, if you can see them. And the mama has abandoned them. We haven't seen her come back. But there's probably 15 or so in there. Lucas dropped his ball somewhere, and I have to find it. Oh, here it is. So he'll drop it, and then he takes off, and then I have to find it. And he's waiting out there. These are plants that we put in here. We almost lost this rose bush due to the heat, but you can see this is the mini roses, and it's starting to bloom pretty good. But this thing allows us to contain the water, in the soil, and keep everything alive during the summer. I have a water hose bib down here to drain excess water at the bottom. But how these work is you put 6 or 8 inches of sand at the bottom. We have lots of wash sand. And then you put your soil on top of that, so garden soil or whatever. And it works really well here in the desert. Oh, there was a bird in there who scared the crap out of me. If she was, though, there must be some other eggs in there. That's also got my heart rate pumping there. She's also a quail. Must be some more quail eggs in there. Okay, Lucas is waiting for me to throw the ball. here we go. So I got this idea from James. Here, when he's in the States, his channel is called Chocolate Man in a Van. And I got to meet him at the Ironwood meetup. Really nice guy. In Thailand now. And he does walk around live streams. Thailand is really interesting. If you ever watch, yeah, out for the Rattler, right? If you ever watch James, Chocolate Man from Thailand, very interesting walk around videos. You know, people watching and all of that. And he's a really good conversationalist. Here we go. Another throw for Luke. And not that I'm going to is his channel, but I always like to mix it up a little bit if I can. There's Mel and Nettie. Happy Sunday. I'm just doing a test here with my GoPro. Your GoPro's working well, Steve. Okay, that's good. Hi, Peter Dell. It is nice out. John P. is here. Good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. Another great channel. We had a huge meteorite last night in our country. Wow. Did you get to record it, John? That should be interesting to see. That kind of stuff is kind of hard to catch, isn't it? Oh, there's Lucas. You see him over there waiting? He's looking at me. As soon as he knows that I can see his ball, okay, I got it. He takes off. So he'll go out there and he'll wait. I'm going to step around this bush here, see if you can see. I don't lose vision. Watch by. Still 2 cars around. Okay. Let's see if it comes back. Sorry about this. Thank you, Peter. Nice cactus. Watch out for the rattlers. Yeah, we do have to watch for them. Love the hubcaps on the fence. Thanks, Mona. A lot of these hubcaps came from neighbors who dropped them off. They know that I like to hang stuff on my fences. And so hubcaps out here that end up on the side of the road usually get deposited at my gate. Oh, Lucas is still waiting for me. So I lost connectivity when I went around the corner to show you Lucas. So he's out there by the bush waiting for my throw. Anyway, we've got some old stuff here. This old mailbox here was found out here in the desert. This is you guys know what this is? Sardine can, it looks like. So if you think about how they lived in the Southwest, you know, back in the mining days, late 1800s, early 1900s, we didn't have refrigeration. So there was no such thing as a refrigerator to put your food in. Everything was canned. Anything that you wanted to hang on to was canned, right? And so sardines or whatever you had, that's how you ate. And then here's some old bottles that we've collected over the years. Oki has a bottle collection. Here's an old one here. Heinz Honey and Almond Cream. So this is actually, see if you can see the lettering on it. made in USA, but Heinz, H-I-N-D-S, honey and almond cream is what that says on there. So we picked up old stuff like that, hubcaps. Oh, there's Lucas squeaking his ball, trying to get my attention. Okay, there he goes. So he squeaks his ball and then he drops it. Here we are on the front porch. There's his ball. So the front porch is our little oasis. You throw this. And Oki loves her flowers and loves her plants. Here's a new rose bush that we bought recently. Isn't that pretty? I love these multicolored. And so we have to enjoy everything now, because once it gets up over 100, they suffer, and then we have to really put the water to them to keep them going. So here's a bird bath in the front here. Birds come in and take water, and then I have automatic watering on it. More flowers over here. This one almost died on us last year, and we transplanted it, and it's coming back pretty good. More roses. Oh, thanks, Melanetti, for that link. Chocolate Man is right there. He's a good guy. Really interesting walk around live stream. So, and he's just one of those guys that's really personable, talkative, and just a good guy. All right, we're going to throw the ball. This is like the 10th or 12th throw for Lucas. All right. See if I can walk out here towards the front. Oh, somebody coming home from... I know I got you pointing into the sun right now. No, it's a weekend warrior. Bicycles on a Tesla. So we're seeing people come out to enjoy the morning. These here are totem cactus. They're actually from South America, and there's a botanist that lives down the road that gave us some cuttings from his years ago, probably 20 years ago. And so we planted them, and look how tall they are. They're like, some of those are like 15 feet tall. Crazy. And we get a lot of comments on people that drive by and stop and say, what is that thing? Well, that's a totem cactus. And then we have these little pin cushions down here. These have pretty little flowers in the spring. They've already bloomed. And you know, you got to have a windmill, right, for pumping water, or pumping pretend water. Oh, and then we have some yard. Mexican yard art is pretty popular around here. So, you know, if you've been around Mexico or the southern Arizona, they do a lot of stuff like this. And this is interesting. Like a road runner that waves in the wind. Here's if you've seen my channel, javelina videos. It's a javelina. Here's another one over here. So we like to set stuff up like that in the yard. Scrolling. Yeah, I had to walk around to get connection again. I've got to test this away from the house. I'm on Wi-Fi of the house right now, so I'm in the front island. And if you guys know what if you've been on farms or around farming, know what a harrow is. This is basically a dirt clod buster. And I got this one from the family farm. My dad had it, and this one was made in August 29th of 1882. So it's metal, of course. You drag it behind a tractor around the fields, and my dad said, yeah, we used to use these for dirt clod busting. So after they would plow, they would drag these around. They've got spikes on them, and basically smooth out the fields with them. So this was on the family farm in Nebraska, and I brought it back in my van back a long time ago. Last time we went out there, and then brought it home for Dad, and Dad kept it for years and years, and then when he passed away, my mom gave it to me. And so this has a prominent position in the front yard and reminds me of my family heritage. Of course, we got our pumps here. These are from Iowa. My sister lives up there and her family, and so I like these old water pumps. They're not hooked up to anything, but here's another one here. This is one of those, you guys have seen these old hand pumps, right? Another one that my sister and her husband Monty gave me. Makes nice art. Yard art, I call it. We were out hiking around the desert just to the north of where we live, and Oki found this shed laying on the ground. It looks like it's been there a long time. It's dried out and sun-baked, but we brought it home, and that's where it lives now. All right, walking around, watching my Wi-Fi. Thank you. Well-kept plants, Peter says. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, GoPro is on my chest. So GoPros have a stabilization feature in them that makes it easier to record with them. And Peter says, okay, have to replace my Sony, might buy a GoPro. And the early ones, Peter, were pretty clunky. I have a GoPro 7, doesn't have Wi-Fi. I had to get an extra battery pack for it, and it worked okay. This one is much better technology, this GoPro 10. So I'm pretty happy with it. I've just had it, a couple weeks. Can you guys see that lizard right there? Oh, there he goes. There's a lizard on that tree. I'm going to try to sneak up. Nope, he took off. As soon as I made him out, he took off. Here's an old plow that I bought downtown. It was in a antique store, and that looks good here. I like to make the front yard look good. Some pretend wagon wheels. Watching my Wi-Fi. And then these 3 amigos here, watching for rattlesnakes. The 3 amigos, these are 3 saguaro cactus that we transplanted when we had the house built. We had to move them, and we decided to move them right here in the front. And they're doing well. They're really starting to grow now. You put, just like anything, you put the water to them and they grow pretty fast. And these guys will live to be hundreds of years old. Just love them. I love saguaro cactus. And there are some around that have blooms on them. And of course, it's pretty hard to show you because they're on top of the cactus and they don't bloom until they're, you know, probably 100 years old. More yard art. Here's a prickly pear. Now this one is flowered, and those are the fruit. And you can actually eat those. They make prickly pear jelly out of some of those. Here's another interesting piece. This is an old wheelbarrow from my mom and dad's place. Something else Mom gave me when Dad passed away, and she was cleaning out a lot of stuff. Love that wheelbarrow. And then we keep water for the critters in a few places around the yard. So the birds will come in here where it's nice and cool, especially when it's hot. They come in here for water. Good morning, James. Good to see you. Lots of sunshine. Yeah, so I'm testing my GoPro, James, and I've got it on the house Wi-Fi. And it disconnected the first time I tried it. So I have to stay close to the Wi-Fi. I'm thinking about maybe relocating that box so I can walk around the back. I might do that next time. DJ, howdy, howdy. Good morning, good morning. Testing my GoPro, doing a walk around, DJ. Good to have you. So first thing I do in the morning is come out and walk, because old guys get stiff and gotta walk to get everything limbered up in the morning. More yard art. Our neighbor gave us this plant here, adenium. And it looks kind of weird, huh? But it's got blooms coming out on it. We've had this since last summer. But it's a very interesting plant. All right, what else we got? More bushes over here. I'm walking around where the Wi-Fi is. And we've had rattlesnakes in this area, so we have to be careful. What I do in the morning, first thing during the summer, is I take Lucas out and I walk the perimeter with him. He's been snake avoidance trained, and so he'll know if a snake is close by. Are you ready? Okay. And he's off. So this is our normal routine. I gotta find a good place to throw it from. Lucas is out by his bush waiting, and he's waiting for me to throw this thing. And he never gets tired of this. He'll keep going and going and going until he's exhausted. Oh, something else I was going to show you. We went to Okinawa, Japan, where Oki is from, and her brother makes these. He takes a bottle and cuts these, makes these flaps, puts a piece of wire through it, and these things will spin. These are spinners. When the wind blows, they spin. Kind of interesting, huh? It's a way to repurpose a bottle instead of throwing it away. Okay, Lucas, where is it? There it is. You can hear him panting. All right, thanks DJ John P. Adventures. DJ started following you. Yeah, Lucas on snake patrol. We do that first thing in the morning. Okay, let's walk around here. I have no idea how long I've been on. But let's walk around here a little bit. Oh, I see I've got my phone in the way. So I'm still learning, guys. Thanks for this. Okay, I'm looking at my Wi-Fi signal. This is a mesquite tree, a Chilean mesquite. They're not native, but they do well here in the desert. This is a creosote. A lot of these creosote bushes. And if you've ever heard people comment, when the rain comes, you can smell the creosote bushes. These things smell really neat when they get wet. They just have a very unique smell. They smell really good. They're not a bad smell. They smell really good. Here's a buckhorn cholla right here. We haven't watered this one at all, watching for snakes. And it's surviving. It just bloomed, and you can see the fruit right here is coming out on it. And the Native Americans will eat that fruit. Tastes like artichoke. I've tasted it. See this green bark tree? This is a Palo Verde tree. These things grow everywhere out here. Very unique. Kind of looks like it's half dead, huh? But it's not. Doing fine. Well, thank you, Lorna. Lucas is awesome. All right, 31 minutes. Thanks. Okay. He's over here waiting. I am here to serve Lucas. Here we go. I'll bet this is... I don't know, I gotta count throws, but it's a bunch. All right, here we go. Okay, what else we got? More old stuff. I retired these because you guys know what this is. This is for ice. I bought this in Iowa at a antique place. It's stamped New York, Gifford Wood Company in New York, but I understand. Oh, okay, maybe it's used for wood because it's got claws on it. Probably used for moving logs around. Here's a pan. Here's a prospecting pan. Found that out there. Old bottles. There's a Volkswagen hubcap. Something else that was out in the desert. It's really heavy. It's old, early Volkswagen. And then old bottles. This one came from the Midwest somewhere, and I hung it up here. You'll notice that it looks kind of purplish. These old lead bottles turn purple in the sunlight. So this one's been hanging up here a long time, and it's got a purple tint to it. Now you probably can't see it. More license plates. And a lot of these are places that we have been. New Hampshire, we spent some time up there in New Hampshire. This is a license plate from Okinawa, Japan for my motorcycle. That's one that I actually had on my bike. There's the old Cherokee. Now here in the desert we have problems with pack rats. And so it was made in New York, you bought it in Iowa, and it's now in Arizona, right? It's traveled a lot, yeah. No, we didn't get any rain here. We haven't had rain here in a couple months. It's very dry. You can see all our green weeds have dried out. Everything is dry. So anyway, I got to pop the hood on the Cherokee to keep the pack rats out. They won't nest in there if, you know, it's open air. There's Big Red in her parking spot. So I like to repurpose things, and so these shade structures I have built out of repurposed pipe. The pipe is actually from wells, water wells, and then the plastic around the outside of it is from an old storage shed, and then I've got used metal, corrugated metal on top that came from, you know, somebody's place that they abandoned. And so I made, oh, Lucas dropped his ball, see that? I made shade, which is really important here in the desert, to park vehicles under, using repurposed material. So I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars on an awning carport type structure. Yeah, I'm going to throw this over the house. Hay grabber, yeah, James, I could be that too, huh? I have seen them use them for that. Let's see what else we got here. More old stuff. That's horse equipment there. This old sign was out there. Caution. I can't read that anymore. More hubcaps. And then some old pans that we got from Iowa. I've got solar here. There's Lucas and his ball. I've got solar here. I have used panels that were retired from a solar farm. So there's a company called Santan Solar that sells these used panels. Each one of these is 320 watts, but because they're old, they're only running about half of that. If I can get you down close, you can see these traces here. These things are, you know, beginning to fail, but they still have output. So I've got 6 of these panels, and I get about 600 watts out of them, but they're super cheap, and I put them on these roll around frames so I can move them with the sun. And what do I do with it? I run that window air conditioner off of solar and batteries. So you see some people will put solar on their house. That's very expensive. You're talking around $50,000 to do a solar system. Yep, he dropped his ball somewhere and there he goes. Now I have to find his ball. I've done mine for a lot cheaper. There it is. See how he does that? There we go. That's my junk pile. You got to have a junk pile. Pieces of metal, you never know when you need to weld something up. Okay, now I've got to throw it all the way across the house. Crossover Paranormal, good morning, good morning. I'm just doing a walk around live stream, testing out my GoPro on Wi-Fi at the house. And so I discovered if I break the Wi-Fi connection, it shuts off. So I built this wall here when we bought the property for privacy, and since I got old power poles from the co-op, I could get power poles like this that were retired, and then I bring them home. I welded this frame up, put a bolt through it, and then these are about 10-foot sections that I built. Put these slats on them, and it works pretty good for privacy fencing. And those are cedar slats, so they last a long time. So I'm expecting my GoPro battery is probably going to die here soon. But anyway, how we water things in the desert is I use these timers. These are water timers, hose bib timers, and you can set them. That one needs a new battery. No, it's still alive. You can set them to water for a time and the day that you need them. And so I use those everywhere. Everybody's got a compost, right? So we compost all our veggies and then use them in the garden, in the totes. So let me bend over here. You can see veggies and eggshells and plant material, stuff like that. And you just keep it covered up, add the water, and you have some natural compost. Here's our totes. This used to be a chicken coop. We had chickens when we first moved out here, and I built this. And the problem with having chickens is that you have chickens, you have chicken feed on the ground, mice come in for the feed at night, and what brings the snakes in? Well, the mice. And so we had rattlesnakes arriving, and we got surprised a few times. And so we didn't replace the chickens, and we converted this to container gardening. And Oki has various things growing in there, and I have water timers on everything. Here's where the RV lives. I did spend some money on that to put an awning up. You know, when you buy an RV and you spend 50 grand or whatever on it, it needs shade in Arizona. We have a water catchment here, which is important in the desert. This is actually a culvert that I stood up, put in concrete, and when we had the roof replaced, I had new gutters put in, And so every rain we get water. And you know, rainwater is really good for plants. So this is about 200 gallons. That one over there is about 275 for rainwater. And then we have citrus trees that need water, of course. There's Lucas again, you see? This is my morning routine. Here we go. And there he goes. I'm going to throw it up and over these trees. Something else we do is I built this years ago, and we put a wash machine in there. Keep all our yard tools and things in there. And I lock it when we're gone. And then gray water. We use the gray water from this to water trees. So this is a Valencia orange tree. And we do have to haul water because our water well does not keep up. Usually May, June, July, I have to haul water to keep the trees going. Looks like this is kind of Smoky Mountains blessed. Good morning, Joy. Good to have you. I'm just doing a walk around live stream with my GoPro, trying it out. It has to be connected to Wi-Fi. I've got to figure out if I can use it away from the house. So I'm walking here and it looks pretty smooth. That's the nice thing about the GoPros. You know, when you're walking around with your phone, it's pretty jumpy. There's an old license plate there, Kansas 1934. Found that in a antique store. Jeep parking only. Remember that. Virginia, we lived in Virginia for a while. All right, I'm going to come around and sit here. Can somebody give me a time check, Nell and Nettie? How long have I been on there? Okay, audio broke up for a second. Captain Jack is here. Good morning, good morning. Doing some testing with my GoPro. I'm going to sit down and take a break, Lucas. Maybe you should too. You're kind of huffing and puffing there, buddy. Question, do you have a Wi-Fi extender? I do not. But I understand that Starlink sells them for their systems. Oh, Lucas is watching Mama. Oki's usually out here watering. She doesn't like to be on camera, so I'm interrupting her morning routine. But Wi-Fi extender, I can buy one off of Starlink, and I'm thinking about putting one over here on this side of the house so I can do more walk around stuff. What's Mama doing? Huh? You hear Mama? Mm-hmm. Yeah? See, he's watching his ball. It's always watching his ball. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Okay. Cuddle bug, cuddle bug. Yeah, I need to get a Wi-Fi extender. Oh, sorry for the noise. He's bouncing around here. Look at that ball. Now, was it yesterday or the day before I did the live stream with out here in the front, and my GoPro overheated and just shut off, so I'm not sure if that'll happen. That's why I decided to do this early. Captain Jack is in Miller Canyon. Have you heard about rattlesnakes being born without rattles? No, I have not, Merton and Sue. Do the snakes stay out of the laundry area? Yes, they do, Joy. So that's an old shipping box that I got from the electric co-op when I worked there. And I put it off the ground just because anything you set on the ground in the desert, pack rats are going to move in and then the rattlesnakes come in. And so anything that you put on the ground has to be up off the ground so it's got a free flow of air. The pack rats won't move in and the snakes won't move in after them. So I put that building up like that. And we've had mice in there before, but we haven't had any rattlesnakes. We've had rattlesnakes all over around these pots and things. Lucas has been snake avoidance trained, so he knows when they're around. And so the first thing I do in the morning is walk the perimeter with him and around the house, and I watch his reaction. I don't take his ball out until we do that. And then if he doesn't react, then I know, for the most part, I'm assuming that we're okay. So he's looking at me at the side of his eye there. Says, come on, Dad. I think you need a break, buddy. You need a break. I like you walk around live stream, Steve, because it's how I live stream. Yeah, it works good, Joy. And where you guys, oh, there's the water system going on. You see the water trickling behind Lucas there? That's the timer just kicked on. It's refilling the bird feeder. And so I try to set things up so that we can take off and go camping. And the water system keeps everything going. Reza, good morning, good morning. But yeah, I know you and Donnie do live streaming, and if you guys don't know Smoky Mountain Blessed, they do some really cool live streaming, do car shows and things like that where they live in Pigeon Forge. Donnie does painting, which is interesting. Oh, here's a hummer. It's a hummingbird. I don't know if you guys can see. It's on the other side of the tree. We have a couple of hummingbird feeders up here. I lost sight of them now, but so we keep sugar water up here for them. There he is. No, he doesn't trust us. He's up there sitting on a branch up in the tree watching us. That looks like a youngster. Reza, good to see you. Dad needs a break. Yeah, Dad needs a break too, right? Lucas needs a break. Can somebody give me a time check? How long have I been on here? I don't want to go too long. Captain Jackson, Miller Canyon down there in Sierra Vista, huh? Hey guys, is the audio okay too? I've got this thing mounted to my chest. He just dropped his ball right down here. See, he's looking at me. Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. I want to play. I want to play, he says. Dad, I want to play. I want to play. You dropped it in the water over there, so it's soaking wet. All right, maybe I'll go ahead and shut this down. House is not a home unless you have a junk drawer or a junk pile, right? Yeah, I'm going back and looking at the comments. just running AC would really save on electric. Mona said earlier. It does. I've got enough battery in there and solar where I can run that window AC. And if I could do that in the summertime, it saves a lot of money on electric. And whenever you're spending money on solar equipment, you need to be able to recoup your cost, right? Scrolling, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Donnie was invited to paint at Gatlinburg Skybridge. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I watched that. Yeah, watching the gondolas go by and as he painted, that was cool. All right. Hey, Joy, can you do me a favor and find a link for Traveling Merton and Sue? They're channel members, good people, so I'd like to drop a link for them if you don't mind. Traveling Merton and Sue. They're back in Massachusetts now, back at their home base. I have to figure out how to use my GoPro to live stream. Yeah, it's not in the normal settings. There's like three dots up on the top right, and then there's a menu underneath that. And one of those is live stream, and then of course you have to point it to your channel. But it seems to be working pretty good. Gotta go, everyone. Have a good day. All right, Traveling Merton and Sue, we're gonna drop a link for your channel there. Thanks, guys, for coming in. And have a good day in Massachusetts. There it is, Traveling Merton and Sue. They do live streams on Sunday, so they'll be live this afternoon, and Oki and I will be watching. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and helping me. Hopefully, this was interesting enough to hang out for a little while. Looks like Lucas is ready to play some more, so appreciate everybody being here. Now I have to figure out how to shut this off. I have no idea. No idea how to shut it off. All right. Thanks for